Good afternoon on this rainy, soggy Tuesday afternoon. I know you're all so disappointed we didn't get any snow, but we'll have to make it up now. So today is Tuesday the 25th, so we're going to title our notes 3-25-14. I can't believe we're on the 25th already. And this is going to be on exponential equations. We talked a bit about today about the different parts of an exponential graph. And we talked about the standard form equation is y equals a times b to the x power. Okay, and then one of the things we've talked about is how a is your y-intercept. Okay, so whatever this number is, that's where it's crossing the y-axis. So we want to look at how we can create an equation when given the points. So here, you have to understand that the y-intercept is when x is 0, and you have some number for y. Okay, so looking at our chart here, I can tell this x is 0, so my y-intercept is 1. Therefore, my a equals 1. Okay, so now for creating this equation, I know that my a is 1. So I don't know my y, I don't know my b, and I don't know my x, but I know my y is, or my a is 1. So really what I need to find out is the b. And so I can do that very simply by plugging in any x and any y, because I have a list of x's and I have a list of y's here. So I think I'll just look at this first equation, or this first point here that's on this graph. Here my x is 1 and my y is 4. So I'm going to plug 4 in for y. I know my a is 1. I don't know my b, but I'm going to plug in 1 for the x. So replace 1 with x and 4 with y. So I know anything times 1 is itself. So I have 4 equals b to the 1 power. So I have to think about what would that b equal? What could I put in this place so that it equals 4? So hopefully you know that if I put 4 to the 1 power, it equals 4. Therefore, b equals 4. And now I have my equation. I have y, I know my a is 1, now I know my b is 4, and I can put that to the x power. Or I could just write that y equals 4 to the x power, because anything times 1 is itself. So just to recap, the first thing we do is we look for the y-intercept. We plug that in for a. Then I plug in any x and y and calculate the b. So once I know what a is, and here I knew a is 1 because it's right here, and once I figured out what b is, I just very simply plugged them into the a, b to the x power, and I came up with my equation here. Easy squeezy lemon peasy. Let's look at one more example. Alright, so looking down here, I'm not given a table, but I'm giving a series of points. And here it tells me when x is 0, y is negative 1. So automatically, I know that's my y-intercept, or it's my a. Right? Okay? And I'm giving other points here. I know that this is 1, negative 3. Oops. This point right here. I can look at this point and say this is 2 and negative 9. And if I want to do this point down here, that's 3 and negative, let's see, it's going by 3, it's 27. Okay, so here's my points. So I have them just on a graph instead of a chart. So right now at this moment, I know I have y. I know my a is negative 1 because that's the y-intercept. I don't know my b and I don't know my x. So I want to pick any of these points to figure out what will work. And looking at this, I'm going to go ahead and choose this one right here. So this is my x, and this is my y. And I'm just going to plug them in. So I'm going to plug negative 9 in for y. I have negative 1 here. I'm going to plug in 2 for b to the second power. Oh, I did that backwards. Sorry, I didn't have b, I had x. So b, and I'm going to plug in 2 for x, right? Sorry about that. So I plugged in my y, and I plugged in my x. X was 2, so I plugged it in there. And we had the negative 1. So I have negative 9 equals negative 1b squared. I can do a little math, and I can get rid of this negative 1 by dividing this side by negative 1 and this side by negative 1. And I'll get 9 equals b squared. So I think about what number could I put in for b, so when it says second power equals 9. Okay? So hopefully, with all our work of perfect squares, I think about if I put in a 1 here, I'd get 1 squared. That's not 9. If I place b with 2, I'd get 2 squared, which is 4. That's not 9. But if I put in 3 for b, 3 squared is 9. So b must equal 3. So now I have my b, should be an equals. I have my a, and so now I can write my equation. Y equals negative 1, 3 to the x power. And there you have it. So I want you to answer these two questions. What does the a value tell you? And think about what you think the b value tells you. We haven't really gone over that, but look at this, what this b is. What do you think it means for this equation here? And we'll go over your answers tomorrow. Good night.